Good morning, students. So, welcome to the asynchronous lesson 2 for December 2nd, 2020. So, we have been learning the parallel lines or perpendicular lines with the concept of this perspective of the slopes. So, to recap, what we have learned is that parallel lines have same slopes. So, one theory we have learned is that parallel lines have same slopes. So the value of the slope will be same. So what we can conclude from them? If we can say if two lines, L and M are parallel, then we can say that the slopes of lines L and M are going to be equal. Going to be equal. So if you are given that, if you are told that if slopes of line, let's say L, is, let's say, slopes is usually denoted by M, so ML is, let's say, 1 by 4, then we can decide that since the slopes of the parallel lines are equal, so the slopes of the another line which is parallel to L, M, is going to be also the same 1 by 4. So you can say then slope of the line M is also going to be equal. So you can say that M, the slope of the line M, is going to be also 1 by 4. So likewise, again, for another example, if we say the slope of the line, let's say M, is -2, then a line parallel to any line or a line which is parallel to the line M also has the same slope value. I mean, both are equal, -2. So we can say that that line, let that line be, let the parallel line with that M is L. So the slope of the line M is equal to the slope of the line L, both are -2. You got it? So you might be given with slope and ask you to find out the parallel line. This way you can straightaway say if they are parallel, then the slopes are equal. So if you are given with one value, one slope, then you can find out the other slope. So now the problems might be given you like this. Let's say, let me do an example. So let's know how to calculate the slope. You all know that. So let me describe the calculation of slope. So before I go to the example, let me show you how to calculate or how to find the slopes of any line given with 2 points. So let's say a point A has got coordinates, let's say x1 and y1. Another line B has coordinates x2 and y2. So the slope of AB is always, we said, rise by run. That is the changes in y-axis and changes in x-axis, which we can say the changes is the final value of y, initial value of y, and the final value of x, initial value of x. Okay, so this is the equation of slope, which is generally denoted by m. So this is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. So let's say a point is given, A is coordinates of, let's say it's an example of finding a slope. So finding slope, finding slopes. So let's say a point is given at 2 and 6, and the other point B is given, let's say 8 and -2. So let's denote the value. These are x1, these are y1, and let this be our x2, this is our y2. So we know that formula tells that m slope is changes in y, that means y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So easily you can put the values, and y2 our -2, so it's a -2, our y1 is a 6, this is a formula negative, and then it's divided by x2 is our 8 and x1 is our negative. So it's a -2 for formula, and this is 2. So this becomes the same sign, so they will be added up and containing the sign negative, and this different sign, so they will be added up. So we can find out -8 by 10. You can simplify it by dividing both the denominator and numerator can be divided by 2. So you can divide by 2 and simplify to -4/5. So that's it. That's the slope calculation. So now, this is how we calculate the slope. So if you are asked that a line AB, so let's say example for finding parallel lines, finding slopes for 2 parallel lines. So if we can find out the slope of one line, then we can say the other line should be parallel. So let's say AB and CD are parallel. Given A is 9 and 3 and B is let's say 3 and let's say 9. So they ask what is the slope of the line CD. So all that we can do that since they are parallel, so both of them will have slope equal. So we can say slope AB should be equal to the slope of CD. Since we are given with the coordinates of A and B is this and this, we can easily formulate the slope for AB as, based on this formula, we can easily plug in the values and we can find out. So our y2 is this is our y2 is this, that is 9, and our y1 is 3. 9 subtracted minus 3, and our x2 is this 3, and our y2 is 9. Okay, so x2 is, our x2 is 3, x1 is 9. Okay, so we can get 6 and here -6. So this gives us -1. So slope for this is -1 for AB. So we say, since we can say that MAB, slope of AB and CD equal, so we can say AB equals CD equals -1. Since both the line has got same slope, so and they're parallel, so they have same slope, so both have got -1. So all that you need to do is calculate the slope. If you are given with the slope, then you can say both the slopes are equal. And if you have to calculate the slope and find it out. The problems might be like other way. Say coordinate of 2 points are given and you are asked to find out whether they are parallel or not. So let's say something like you are given with A point. A is like let's say -9, -12. B is given as -2 and 2. C is given as, let's say, -1 and 6. And D is given as, let's say, -5 and -2. Now you're asked to find out that what type of relationship is there between AB and CD. Okay, whether parallel or perpendicular or neither. Okay, so all that we need to do is calculate the slope for AB. So slope for AB is MAB. So we go on with our formula y2 y1 minus x2 minus x1. So for AB, y2 is 2. So negative from the formula, and y1 is -12. So -12. And then for x2 is -2, this one, and then x1 is -9. So negative is from the formula and this. So what do we get? We get that 2 negative negative positive makes it 12, and -2 and negative negative positive makes it 9. So we get a 14 and we get a 7, and so we can simplify that 2. So slope of AB is 2. Now let's check out what is the slope of CD so that we can find out the nature of this relationship. So for CD, we get slope of CD again based this formula. I'm not writing again. So y2 is -2. You can see I'm following this formula. So -2 and negative follows from the formula. So y1 is 6. So this 6 divided by our x2 is -5, and these are negative from the formula, so it's -1. Okay, so all that we get is negative same sign, so it's 8, -8, and over here this -5 and negative negative makes it positive, so two different sign, so they'll be subtracted. So from -5 1 is gone, -4. Okay, so we can cancels out this negative negative and 4 2. Okay, so you see the slope of AB equals the slope of CD. Okay, so what we can say, if the slopes are equal, then we can say that the lines are parallel. So therefore we can say lines AB and CD are parallel. So this is all that you need to face so far based on our knowledge. And now for the perpendicular line. Okay, so let's think about perpendicular line. So the perpendicular line, there is nothing different. Something different only is the multiply product of the slope are perpendicular lines. Or perpendicular lines. What do you know? If AB lines AB and lines CD are perpendicular, so what happens? We knew that slope of AB multiplied product of the slope of both will add up to -1. Okay, so sums might be like, if you are asked to find out the, if you are given, let's say example, we know how to find out the slope by this time. Okay, so if it is given that if slope, okay, let me say that first. If lines AB and CD are perpendicular and slope of AB equals, let's say, -2, find the slope of line CD. So what do you notice? The information given that line AB and CD are perpendicular, all right? So what do you know? That based on this formula, we can tell that slope of AB product, multiplied with slope of CD equals -1. Now look at that. You are given with the slope of AB is -2. So let's put that, replace this one with -2. So we need to find out, Mr. Unknown is our this slope of CD. Okay, so that is it. To find out, we need this guy. So let this guy be out. So the adapt him the property of division, property of equality. So this is gone. So we have CD equals half. You see, that's what we said from the very beginning. This is the negative reciprocal of this. This flips up, the numerator goes down, and this is a negative. Okay, so it's a negative, negative, positive, half. So you could calculate it, or you could directly say that. That's it. So if one slope is given, you can find out the slope of the other perpendicular line based on these equation. Okay, and you might be given problems with like the way that I have already shown you before, like this. Like let's say a value is given like let me find something for you that should be perpendicular. Okay, let's say give me a second. Let me find out a suitable sum for you. I go to something suitable that really matches with our this. Mm, okay, let me check with this value. Let's say if you are asked that, let's say I hope this will be a perpendicular line. Let's say P a point 12 and negative 1, and the other point Q is 5 and negative 10. And the point R is negative 4 and 10. And S is 4 and 3. Now, what kind of relationship exists between PQ and RS? So let's first calculate the slope of PQ and see what they have. So y2 is our y2 is negative 10, so negative 10 minus y1 is negative 1, so we say negative 1 divided by x2 is 5, 5 negative x1 is 12. So what do we find? We find that negative 10, negative, negative, positive, this, and 5, negative 12. So you have a negative 7 in the numerator, and here we have, oh no, I'm sorry. This is going to be 10 and 1, different signs, so subtraction from negative 9, and different signs, subtraction from the larger one, small one. So you get a negative 7 over here. So you can cancel out this, we get a negative 9 by 7, positive 9 by 7. And to calculate the slope of RS, so y2 is 3, y1 is 10, so negative 10, divided by x2 is 4, and your x1 is negative 4 and 3, negative 4 and 10. Okay, so that should be negative 4. Okay, so let me change this value just to give you a feeling of, let's say if it is, if it would be negative 5. Okay, so we say this one is negative 5. Okay, so what do you get over here? We get a negative 7 in the up, and in the down 4 and plus 5. So we have a negative 7 and 9 over here. So among these two slopes, if we really compare, if we really want to compare between these two slopes, what do you see? For this one, 9 by 7, and this one is exactly what happens with this one. A negative is added, and it flips, numerator, denominator goes up, and numerator goes down. 9, you see? So they are negative reciprocal to each other. So we can say, conclude that they are perpendicular. But on the other hand, if we say the straight way, most simplest way to think that product of this should be negative 1. So let's say in the left hand side, this value is 9 by 7, 9 over 7, multiplied with this value, negative 7 over 9. You see this cancels out. This is cancels out. It remains only negative 1. Okay. So in the left hand side, you get a negative 1. Right hand side, you get a negative 1. So you can say that lines AB and CD are perpendicular to each other. That's it. So, and if you cannot find out that relationship, they are neither equal or nor product of them are equals to negative 1, then you can say neither relationship exists. So they are neither perpendicular nor parallel. That's it. So based on this, attached is another class assessment problems. You'll solve that and submit in time. I'm extending the time up to 11:59 night, and since a school assignment, it should be submitted within due time. Any late submission will be straightway scored 0. I'm just extending it up to 11:59. Please submit it within the time. Okay. Thank you very much.